Greetings, everyone. We've reached the end of 2019, and we're going to finish it off probably. I don't know, maybe it's possible we'll draft again after this, but unlikely that we'll draft again after this. And we're going to draft some best of 3 Throne of Eldraine. This is our free-to-play 2 account, and this is where we are playing Throne of Eldraine these days because we have maxed out our collection of Throne of Eldraine on our main account. And since this is also a free-to-play account, we basically have a side account where we can play some limited when our main account is full up on the set, so that we're not using main account resources on something with diminishing collection returns, like drafting a format where you already have all of the rares and mythics. So that's the reasoning behind maintaining 2 accounts here. That's what we're trying to accomplish. It's kind of funny, we actually got to Diamond on this account through through all the side drafts we've been doing of Eldraine since we completed 4x of the other account. So it's kind of funny. I've never made Diamond before, and I do it on my kind of quote throwaway side account. There you go. Yeah, I'll update the overlay in a second here. Yes, ignore the overlay for now. But don't ignore my sponsor, Card Kingdom. They are going to be someplace you want to pay close attention to if you ever make physical Magic purchases, because they're going to have among the greatest stock out there in the marketplace, greatest shipping, customer service. Basically, they're my #1 place to get cards from. I drafted Cube last night. It's my Cube. I took my Cube over to Adam's house, and we drafted last night, and I needed to update my Cube, though. And who was going to help me get those cards at the last minute in some shiny versions that I really wanted? Card Kingdom had it all. It was like so easy. And if you check them out via my affiliate link, it really helps out this stream as well. So whenever you consider making a purchase from Card Kingdom, remember you can come back to my stream, click on my affiliate link, and let them know that you appreciate their support of this stream like I do. Thank you, Card Kingdom. Now let's do this thing. I'll get pack 1, pick 1 up as I update my... Ooh, hello. While we are not here to gem draft or rare draft, we're certainly here to take powerful cards. Brazen Borrower is powerful, but we've been generally avoiding blue because of how the bots have been perceiving it. But there's no other blue in the pack of note. This Mantle Wheel. So we could. This is actually a good spot to try and go ahead and take a powerful opening card and then and try to cut the color, even though it's not one of the colors the bots are ignoring right now. We could try to get ourselves into blue with that. I did use my affiliate link. Known Kadeth asks if I use my own affiliate link when purchasing with Card Kingdom. I absolutely do. I'm gonna. Maybe it's like eating your own tail or something, but it's delicious. Yeah, you just can't expect to mill people out with blue, but blue, we've faced blue, and blue has beaten us, and it's certainly not impossible to end up here. I just want it to be set up exactly in a spot like this. But here, let me update my info real quick. Then I'll feel better about good info being up. So let's take the Borrower and see if we can make some blue happen. But something borrowed, something blue. We're gonna not marry it. We'll see what we want to do. Oh, it even rhymed at the end. We can take Drown in the Lock as a blue-black card, or just Revenge as a straight-up black card. This might wheel, question mark? Doesn't usually, does it? Man, this is like an old classic, going a blue card into a black card. Dimir? We're gonna do Dimir? All right. Everybody's screaming revenge. I'm in for revenge. Let's do it. Let's at least take that as our next pick. We don't need to play the Brazen Borrower. For example, we might look here and see that, well, none of these are particularly good. Like, Leap Out, great, right? I don't think I want to take Quarter Monitor or Frogify just because we're talking about cutting for blue. Yeah, Newbie says Frog blue-black needs all the removal it can get. Well, first, we don't know if we're blue-black. I mean, we're very early. We could be taking a Raging Red cap here if we, or Venerable Knight or Youthful Knight if we thought it was the best card in the pack, which is where our focus should be. What's the best card here? And if we do end up in blue-black, though, whenever I'm in a color pair that has black, I don't want the other color to be where I get my removal anyway. I mean, you need removal, but if ideally it comes from the black side. Yeah, Razor's like, ugh, take the egg. I'm kind of understand, but I think we should take something, even if it's like Smitten Swordmaster as a black card, or Youthful. Yeah, this is all. Yeah, I think Swordmaster's fine. Let's take Swordmaster. It's a little early for that card, but it matches. It was such a weak pack. I just wanted to take taking something that matched one of our existing picks seemed okay. Although now I was taking a white card, we could get take Miss Pathlighter here and start moving towards there. I mean, this is why it's hard to be in blue, though. Like, I'm not taking Opt just because we're going to, quote, cut blue. That's ridiculous. So that makes me just want to take the Pathlighter here and try and wheel the Silverflame Squire. Unlikely to, but it might. And if and we can let go of the Borrower, black-white Adventure Knights is there's enough, there's you can find that. We're gonna take Pathlighter. Now what though? What a weird draft so far. We're looking at this is why we end up in red, right? I mean, the red cards just end up being there. We just take Flutterfox though. You're a sucker for Deathless. If we take Deathless, we're throwing out Pathlighter and Borrower, which may be correct. I'm not saying it's impossible for that to be correct, but it's a cost. Whereas we take Flutterfox, we're playing a lot of the cards left in the pack. Or we take Scaldron and know that we have a play either way. Or we can just shrug, sigh, take Searing Barrage, and keep red open as an option. See what chat wants to do on this one. This is kind of a pivotal little pick here early on. So we'll call it Deathless. I'll put Fireborn on the list. I don't think it's going to get much action, but I'll put it on the list. Fox for Flutterfox. Barrage. Egg. And Cauldron. I don't think you want Spider, Dummy, or Walker here, or even Grumgully. I don't think you want to go to Grumgully, which has 2 new colors. Fox feels like the grown-up pick, but Barrage and Deathless feel like the speculation. Let's set ourselves up to take advantage of an open color type pick. Cauldron is I'm chicken. Egg maybe is I'm chicken. Cauldron is I'm scared. I see you with Fireborn and Barrage at 0, where chat's head is at. All right, fine. I'll take. I don't love the Deathless Knight pick here, but we can take it. We may end up at black. If we end up black green, I'll be fine with having this. What's up, Mama? Happy New Year. Oh, look. Well, these aren't actually great. I was thinking these were better red cards than they are. These are understandably here at pick 6. Tree Folk, if we want to follow up on the Deathless pick. Tempting Witch, though, maybe even better than Tree Folk at this point if we end up green-black. Green-black really loves the food. If we take Tree Folk, we could still end up, we could even end up like in green-white if we abandon like everything we've done so far. I think we want to take Witch because we would like to play the black cards we have so far. I'll take the Witch. Huh. So here's like the first blue card that's caught my eye since we picked one Brazen Borrower. But is it even good enough? You can just take Halberd or Witch's Cottage. Cottage with the heaviness of our black might be fine here over Runaway Together. Yeah, we did. But didn't we take... Yeah, that was with when we took Revenge, right? We took Revenge and passed like a cantrip fairy, but that didn't... That wasn't like... That was whatever. You can't stop it all. But I think blue, we've seen it, blue is just not there again, right? So I'm not going to take Runaway Together just because we have Brazen Borrower. I'm going to take Witch's Cottage because I think we're heavy enough black that this could be a play. All right, we get another shot at a Tree Folk. We're not going to pass this one. Yeah, too late to get into Red Cap land. We're best of 3, where Memory Theft is much better, but I'm going to take Tree Folk. We're back to pick 9. Wow, we wheeled a Once and Future and a Curious Pair. Curious Pair for the memes, but and for the food and the Deathless Knight. But I think we take Once and Future and try to get ourselves some pairs later. Like now, which I'll take over the Brute. All right, I think we're settling in here. I'm gonna cut the Borrower, cut the Pathlighter. Those of you who picked the Deathless Knight in that poll, good work. That's where we ended up. Here I do want to return to nature for the board. Over the Jousting Dummy. Brute or Broom? This is actually really interesting. Food, it sacrifices, but we are a food deck, so we expect to sacrifice, and that's where actually Broom does some work. I actually do want Ginger Brute in a deck like this. I have the Tree Folk to make it a 3/3. And there are other ways, you know, to pump it. We can get a Halberd or whatever. But I think, yeah, we need. I think we take the Broom. We're going to get more chances at Brutes. Broom is well positioned in the deck. Hengewalker for a probably not 3/3 at 3, or a Jousting Dummy for random curve filling. I guess we take the dummy. I mean, we could take the Walker in case we just really ended up in a mono direction or a 12-5 type direction, but I don't see us heading in a 12-5 direction from here with Curious Pair wanting to be Treats to Share, wanting to cast that on 1, wanting to, I mean, maybe we could end up being, it's more likely, if anything, we ended up mono green, which is weird at this point, but it's true. Like, or like if we ended up 12-5, I could see it being 12-5 green. I guess it's possible enough that we could take the Walker here. None of these are super exciting, but these are these little narrow picks that can really make a difference to how your curve and deck shapes up at the end. Yeah, I'm with Newbie now. I'm gonna say black we could if we ended up 12-5, especially with the Once and Future already in the pile and the desire to cast Curious Pairs, Treats to Share early, we're probably gonna be 12-5 green. I'll take the Hengewalker. Call this the Hedgewalker. We're gonna hedge towards mono green with the Hedgewalker. Well, now. This isn't the best card in the pack for limited, but for the memes, I could take it. Still, we should probably just take Adversary or Witchstalker. We do have 4 of those, so this is gems. It's playable gems, though. This account doesn't really need gems, though. Neither of these do. Although, if you're... I mean, this is where it's like I can model through speech instead of behavior. Like, if you're playing on an account where you really need to maximize the gem value of the account, then that's where you definitely take Once Upon a Time. And here it's a real choice between Adversary, Witchstalker, and Once. I think Witchstalker is performing better overall than Adversary. I would agree with that. It's close. They're very close. This makes food, has trample naturally, big body, fights. They both fight well, I guess. They both punch well, but this doesn't die in a fight as often. I have a hard time passing my meme. I'm gonna leave it up to chat because I don't have the discipline here. So we're gonna go Once, Oak. Let's call it Oak, and Fierce. What are we doing? I'm also quite curious whether, regardless of what you think of Once Upon a Time, whether Witchstalker or Adversary wins out of the people who vote for those two. Fierce Witch Stalker edging out the Ranger. All right, I'll follow you, chat. Only one vote for the meme. Maybe it'll wheel. I don't think it'll wheel. Hey, wow, no way! Oh, the pain. I saw Savvy Hunter. Savvy Hunter leapt out at me as, oh, sweet, we opened a Hunter. And now look at this. Is this just Sir Conrad, though? Are we just like, Sir Conrad, but we're sad about it? Epic Downfall, Bacon to a Pie, Savvy Hunter. We're in black green and we pass those three? Wowie. Yeah. And man, if I could take this pack, I would. How many playables does this have for us? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 easy playables, and then maybe a 7th or 8th. Wow. All right. Well, almost everyone's on Conrad, and I'm inclined to agree, but this is agonizing. Oh, what a pick. We get a tracker. We're going to try and wheel a noble. We would like to add. I'm okay. I'm in for Oathsworn, although it really takes us off of the. Although Conrad's already done that, so we're kind of off the Witch's Cottage and onto a mixed bag. So we'll take the playable rare here. We can do some reaping. Haven't reaped in a while, yeah. There's Fell the Pheasant, but we'll wheel that and can go into our board. We're just going to take Reaper here. Transformation, probably the pick here. I want a Giant Skewer in the deck. This is a good deck for a Giant Skewer. Putting a Giant Skewer on a Deathless Knight is good game. Or big game, not necessarily GG. It's not going to win you the game outright, but it's good. Transformation slots in at 2. I like that you can upgrade your own thing or turn off a Conrad or whatever. So I think we just take Transformation here and try to pick up a Skewer at another time. Also, we're pretty low on removal, and it qualifies, it's in that realm of, I didn't like the blue removal for similar reasons, but, it's better than nothing. Barrow Witches, we've got a Deathless Knight, we've got a Sir Conrad, we've got Oathsworn Knight, we've got Swordmaster. So we have a handful of things that Barrow Witches could get back. I don't know if we're running it at this point, though. We don't have a lot of 5s, so it could slot there. I think these are more extra 4s, if you think about it that way. But I think just taking Appetite makes sense in the food deck. Although, in these decks, I really want to be using adventure creatures as my combat tricks. Really want Carvers, if I can get them. But we'll take an Appetite. Smock wants Barrow. Barrow's okay. I don't know. Maybe, Appetites are easy to come by, so maybe I take the Barrow Witches, because I'm never going to, play 2. Yeah, I think even though I'm more likely to run the Appetite than the Witches, I'm more likely to get more shots at Appetite. So I'll take the Witches and we'll see. Why does everybody end up in red on Arena? I don't know. Why does everybody end up in red? It's weird. All right, we'll take Halberd, though. Festive Funeral and try not to play it. Take a dummy. Try not to play it. We'll eggs don't feel like eggs don't usually come this late, but we'll take the egg here. And we do get an Insatiable Appetite. And the pheasant for the board. Yeah, there's actually, I don't love egg in decks that aren't splashing or using food, but we're the latter, so happy to run an egg in a deck like this. Oh, that pack where we took Conrad is just hurting me still. Oh, the pain's gone. I'm no longer worried about that pain I was talking about. Y'all tell me not to play red. Order of Midnight's good, though. Wow. We can't take it. We're just not even close, and it's not even worth gems to us. I'll take Order of Midnight and be happy about picking up an order. Another Revenge of Ravens. Yeah. Hopefully try and wheel Forever Young. But another Revenge is good. This is also best of 3, so we can pull these when they aren't good for us. I like that a lot. Here we're just going to add a tracker. I think a lot of our... Fortunately, a lot of our early creatures are humans, so maybe this isn't a tracker deck. But we can transform it. Jousting Dummy. I mean... Yeah, right? Red again. Shield Breaker's so good right now. I guess there's nothing else to take, though. We take Tracker and see if we end up playing it. Witch Stalker's nice here. I like it over Fruit and Forever. And the red continues to flow. Another Tempting Witch, or we could get some air support. Don't really have any air defense yet. I think I'm going to go for the Spider. It's best of 3, so we can... the Spiders are much better in best of 3 when you can pull them or add them as the matchup dictates. No, we can't really run Urge. I didn't even look at it. It's too greedy, even for me. We do have Fell. That's fair. But I don't know if I even want, like, I like the one Tempting Witch. They get a little worse in multiples, because the main thing is having one of these out to start throwing food. So with the diminishing returns on a second Witch, I am going to take the Spider. Yeah, we can look at Curve View. Oh, we've got an Innkeeper to just figure out whether we have the goods for it or not. Let's see. What is the Innkeeper trigger? We've got Curious Pair, Sword Master, Order, Tree Folk, and Reaper. It's actually not great, huh? Like, I don't know if we run Innkeeper at this point. We'd have to pick up, you know, some late Acolytes, Tree Folks on the wheel, that kind of thing. We might. Opportunity cost to try that is another Tree Folk or an Acolyte, you know, or the Forever Young. I think we're going to wheel some Forever Youngs. And Forever Young isn't as important as it once was, although with Conrad, it's still a combo. Yeah, we might wheel Adventures, and I think we're going to wheel Forever Youngs. I think there was one even in pack 1 that we should wheel. So I'm going to head... We'll take the Innkeeper, but I don't love this pick. We'll see if it pays... Well, now I want to take this one and really try to make it happen. And again, the opportunity cost is a tracker. So we're going to take this and take any adventure we can possibly get our hands on, like anything. I guess in that vein, we should take Squire over Brute. We can just take Brute. Yeah, Brute goes with the... and it also might help us play Tracker if we pick up some more Brutes. So I like that. Another Halberd or a Rider. That's interesting. This is where I thought we were going to wheel a Forever Young, so maybe we're not getting a Forever Young this draft. Hold on, I'm going to go... I wanted to reset my order, so I'm just doing this to get it to reset the view. Yeah, Rider's just good. We have enough food. I was just also, you know, this is good as well, but Rider's where we're at here. Cabin, another return to nature for the board. Yeah, black. We passed too much good black, and it dried up, and our Forever Youngs are gone. No adventures are going to wheel, and boohoo us. But we still have enough cards to make a fine deck. What are we doing here, though? Still don't think we want these lands with the way this is going to end up. We have one Insatiable Appetite. We didn't end up with any other pump spells. I think I'm going to bring another Return to the Nature for the board, though. There's going to be... we have one, but there's going to be matchups where we will run 2. I'm not sure how the delays all work, BCD, but sorry you're behind, feeling behind. Yeah, you can try a refresh. Hopefully it doesn't run an ad for you or whatever, but it might. All right. Well, we added no additional support for these innkeepers. Probably the grown-up thing to do is just cut them. I mean, we have some. I mean, we got, but it's like you're not even drawing off the innkeeper with some of our stuff until we're at 6 and 7 mana. So, yeah, right. Give us those innkeepers early, and we really could have done something about it. Probably cutting one, if not both, of the appetites. I think just one. One is good. Can we justify this tracker? Well, let's look at numbers too. 19-7. Can we justify this halberd? Tracker on turn 2 can be supported by Gingerbrute, Marleaf Rider, Jousting Dummy, Sorcerer's Broom, Kenrith's Transformation, and in a... Oh, and that's a human anyway. So, okay. 1, 2... Well... There's like 6 cards that combo well with the turn 1 tracker here. Cutting this walker, that's an easy cut. We can probably put spider in the board to start. Maybe just card availability is going to dictate this tracker decision. Yeah, we do have a lot of humans, so this halberd does not auto-equip to humans. Yeah, we did not see a single carver. It just happens sometimes, right? They just might not have been in the packs this time. Yeah, that's fair. We could start Once and Future in the board, although, I mean, we're trying to make things grindy. Like, if our game plan works, this is a good card. I may want to start it and pull it against aggro, although you're right that aggro is represented enough that we think it's bad against aggro. We could start it benched, but on that front, we could do that with Reaper as well. Well, let me get to deck building view anyway. Yeah, Oathsworn plus Tricks is nice. People, although Oathsworn itself causes weirdness in people's blocking decisions sometimes, so... Yeah, we didn't end up with a skewer either, unfortunately. So this then becomes here, 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 here. Our 3s are lacking. How did that happen? Wasn't paying attention and then no 3. Oh, I cut 3s too. That's also what happened. Really, what are we even doing with food in this deck? We are bringing back Deathless Knights from the dead. We are chucking it with Tempting Witch. And we are luring stuff with the Rider. And we are copying brooms. That's quite a few, I suppose. Newbie, I'm thinking about it. That's part of what I'm thinking about here. It's like it is a 3, and we are grindy. I think you're right. I think we bring in Spider and cut something else. Maybe the Witches or... Is this not even a halberd deck? Yeah, Appetite is a light food usage, although it tends to do its job at +3/+3. Sometimes you win games by going +5/+5 for damage to the face, but normally it's just +3/+3 win combat. All right, we're close. Yeah, I was thinking dummy. It's pretty generic, but we have this tracker that I'm trying to have some minimal support for. But if we cut tracker and halberd, then it makes me even want to cut the ginger brute and put this back in. Like if we're gonna abandon our aggro, why not like do even like return to nature? Brute without an aggro component becomes a food source, and that's it. Like it's food. It's I just don't like running it if we're not aggro. We can pump it with Tree Folk. You're not wrong there. We only have one though. It seems a little sketchy to be running that card on the strength that eventually it can maybe get boosted by a Tree Folk. Maybe we just run this stupid funeral, but it's so bad until late. So yeah, I'm not going to put the brute back in. What are we going with? I need a last card now. If we've de-aggroed, and I think I like that. I think I like de-aggroing here with how we're trying to win. You want an innkeeper? Yeah, maybe just a second appetite is where it's at. I think I like that better as our interaction. Double innkeeper, what is it getting us except lightning rods? I guess they don't need to do much. Mike wants the funeral. But the trouble with adding festive funeral because of lack of removal is that we still have lack of removal after we add it. Like, this is so bad when you're not actively impacting their graveyard early. This was barely playable in Black-Blue Mill. Like, yay, 5 mana, -2/-2. Oh, it's our graveyard anyway. So I play it so little I was reading it wrong, but still. I would rather bring it in against Mill then. It's so bad. Are we that desperate? Maybe I'll just give this one a try and we'll come back and adjust. Fueling Conrad is not a great argument for the innkeepers. I'm going to start here and we can decide after a match. It is best of 3, so we don't have a lot of fouls to give, but I'm going to start here. And what are we calling this? Yeah, it's going to be a heavy sideboard type situation for sure. Best of fun. I don't know. Give me a name. Give me a name. What happened? We didn't go red. We tried to borrow Brazen Pivot. Do we want 9? I guess with Oathsworn, 9 will do. 9 black versus 8. I understand the lightning rod argument, but if they don't have removal, then it's not a lightning rod, it's just a mulligan. All right. Oops, I'm going to go over here. We'll see how this goes. I can do a par poll if you're interested in that. This is best of 3, so you're looking at 5 win max, 2 loss max. Man, I take so long to get my deck settled and going that it feels like cruel to then further adjust basic lands. And you go tell Adam Paquette that we need to upgrade this sweet forest. I'm gonna keep this. For those of you who want like one innkeeper, you might want to ask yourself which card you would have swapped out for the innkeeper, and we'll see that if we draw that card, whether or not it would have helped or hurt us. Yeah, it didn't seem like it calculated that pull properly. I don't know what happened. Food on food. Oh boy. Oh boy. With the lack of a fourth land, and with Jousting Dummy being kind of a whatever card, I'm going to go ahead and transform it, try to find our fourth land for the next turn. It's gonna be tough to out-attrition a Trail of Crumbs deck with 2 pieces of food out. We failed to find our land, but we can play a golden egg, try and find a fourth land, and at least get the broom out. I'm gonna try and hold onto that order as a reanimation spell and not get too hasty with it as an aggro play. Let's see. We don't have any ones, so which one to keep? I guess we want to keep black just in case for some reason we want to do Order of Midnight. No luck. We're churning through the deck trying to find our lands, but not getting there yet. Drawn 2 extra cards this game. So we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 cards deep. Only seen 25% land so far. Of course, the big trouble with Mana Screw is that if we could get to the point where we finally break out of it. This card is so freaking unbeatable and limited with any kind of food support. Like, I feel like we should just scoop it up now and go to game 2. I don't know how we beat that. It's pretty darn good, even if it just comes down and eats a 2/2 or less, you know, or a 2/3 or less. But the fact that, oh, hey, this is just not good, folks. Chat now trolling me with picks that might have been. Here's the thing, though. Festive Funeral can't beat Wicked Wolf yet. That's my point. We're close. We're getting there, but it's... We can't cast it, and even if we could, it wouldn't kill it. Great removal. Oh yeah, I'm not going to scoop. I'm just saying our chance of winning this game is hyper low. Well, that's where it starts. This second piece of food is what makes this ridiculous. We need to basically get a couple of wolves out, trade one of them for a piece of food, and then try and trade. It's just crazy. If they make another piece of food, we can't, like, what are we doing about this wolf? We need a 112 or something like that. As it is, Revenge is too slow. I guess we just go ahead and play the Stalker. Like, Revenge just doesn't seem like a good play. I almost just want to trade the Stalker for the food. But yeah, this just feels too slow. This is about stopping 2/1 knights, not 5/5, you know, potentially 5/5 wicked wolves. I'm not saying Festive Funeral can never do anything ever. Yeah, in fact, I'm ditching Revenge here. And we're probably cutting the Revenges in sideboarding. And we'll cut the Broom. Since we're going to be trying to play these. Yeah, that's great. Show them Revenge. Maybe they'll bring in enchantment removal for it before I take them out of the deck anyway. I mean, that's the question. Like, I could not show them Sir Conrad, but, you know, at some point you got to try and actually win your games of Magic. And again, let's say we show them Sir Conrad. What is really going to happen that makes them change their behavior in the future? I don't know why they're not attacking. I'm going to go Conrad because if we draw a land, next turn we can stalk and order, and if they kill Conrad, we'll have a great use for the order. Yeah, they have Sir Conrad. I'll bring in ways to kill Sir Conrad. I mean, we might do that with, in this case, like, I might bring in Festive Funeral in this matchup, specifically because you know, of what we're seeing, but that it looks like it will go long and be pretty grindy. But I really don't want Festive Funeral against, like, Knights or whatever. We took Conrad over Epic Downfall and Bacon to a Pie and Savvy Hunter. It was a brutal pack. Well, things just continue to get more awkward, although why did they... Okay. Like... Okay, there's more food. Maybe that was why? They're still not attacking. All right. Almost want to send in Conrad to make him use, you know, then we order it back. That's a little greedy. Like, I'm just gonna play the Witch Stalker. Now, even if they were to, like, Tree Folk, the Wicked Wolf, I guess now then they could make it an 8/8. Jeez, it's bad. Well, that's true. We could just say our desperation mode here is that order gets there. Yeah, that's true. We can just get the Broom back and do a lot of chumping. All right, I'm in for that. Also, it gets our order going. I think we will have to race on some level to get this one, so let's start that. I'm in. This is a little disconcerting. That's a pretty nice card for a long game, although they can't really activate it yet without seriously hurting themselves. You're gonna throw some counters on the Eye Collector? Sure. Yeah, I don't think they want to attack with the Eye Collector. They want to stop our order. I don't think I'll bring in my flying removal just because they showed us an Eye Collector, though. I need to see something else from a green-black deck before I bring in anti-flying. Yeah, Oppo doesn't seem interested in our life total. I don't know. Maybe they're just going to chuck food at us till the end of time. I went with Spider Order, or Spider Broom. I also like keeping our hand clear. They're running Reapers, so Order is not in our hand, you know. Card library is 21 they, 24 us. Yeah, they've gotten some extra cards out of Trail here. And I'm feeling it. Let's see. We have 6 mana, 7 possible. There's 2, 2, and 3. So we want all 7. Go ahead and play the order. So now we have eat food, make a broom, and man, if we just make enough brooms, we start to have inevitability unless they kill Conrad, right? Because we make a broom army and start swinging sideways with it, and they take 2 or 1. But they're making a lot of food too, so we'll see how this goes. If we get another land off the top, then we go sack and make 2 brooms. That's good too. Four in the air is no joke. We have a lot of life gain to mitigate that. Turn it into effectively 1 in the air. But we may start looking to hold cards to try and keep Reaper on the ground. Oh yeah, I forgot I cast a spider. I'm so dumb. I mean, I was playing around bounce. I mean, playing around pump. Shut up. It was all well thought out. We're certainly going to have to see if they have something for it. And maybe this is enough between Eye Collector and Reaper. Maybe we do bring in Fell the Pheasant. That's a nice... Fell the Pheasant's a nice answer to Reaper. Pull! I guess we'll sack this. Not that it matters. I mean, they probably do have pump. Like, I will block with the spider next time. But I do think our spider is going to die to pump. That's true. It gives free sacrifice. That's a reasonable, subtle difference there, Resonator. Good call. Huh. Okay, well, we could play Revenge, but they're only attacking with the Reaper, and we're going to try blocking anyway, so I'm going to leave up our mana for Conrad activation and potentially making more brooms. Does that make sense? I mean, we could play it. Might make him less inclined to attack. But couple more cards and we keep the Reaper on the ground for what that's worth. Yeah, but they're only swinging with the one. They may swing with Tree Folk, though. All right, I'll play it. Really, the just question is whether we're trying to build up a hand to put Reaper on the ground, and whether or not we want to use our mana towards Conrad activations and Broom copying. That's true, and if we're patient and wait for an 8th land, we get more value out of the food sacrifice and the broom making. So it makes sense to try and get a double broom out of the rest of these food if we can. And yeah, it does help race. Mike is... Well, the thing is, it's actually doing damage to them if they want to try and attack us now. And this is a weird race. When two food decks race, it's a weird kind of race, but it is kind of where we're at here. All right, now I'll trade for their trick, okay? See, it was barely a mistake. I knew they were going to do something like that. Not the trick I would have expected either, but good to know about it. 22 to 19, so we can go Turbo Conrad also, although we got to watch out. We do not have a Forever Young. They might. Well, we got to win by milling now. It's just like survive the Reaper and mill him out. They're not attacking with Collector because they're trying to defend against the Order. So for any eyebrow raising you might have about Oppo's game decisions, I understand that one at least. That's true. Forever Young becomes much less interesting for them when they are going to have them remilled for damage. Still didn't find our other land. We could... What did they do? This is probably just a land. Did they draw a card? No, they drew a card, right? Their last play was to draw something with Wicked Guardian. So this could be something that's a reasonable play that's 4 or more mana that they just didn't have the mana for. So yeah, I'm in for reaping their final card. It might be relevant. It's true. It might have been the tracker. Instead, Order of Midnight. Yeah, that was a good reap. Especially for only getting one. Yeah, basically Demonic Tutor. Yep. Take a smack, though. Although they had nothing in the yard yet. So really it was not Not quite a demonic tutor in that spot. You gonna bring the collector? Bring it. Yes, eventually we hope to make it a demonic tutor, but not yet. It is not there yet. This is best of 3, sheesh, so I'd say put on your seatbelt, but it's more like get your pillow? I don't know. Once in future, you say, what can we get back? Another revenge spore cap to just block the air again? Man, I think if we get spore cap and revenge, it's going to be tough for them to win the game. Unless they find, you know, more help. I think I'm going to do that. Let's go, let's get that spider back. Could also get a forest, but we'll be patient on that front. Spore cap, spider, and double and revenge can make it hard for them to kill us through attacks when they're at 11. You know, it really helps that damage race, and then we can try to win the library race through Conrad activations. Really, you just want forest revenge? Remora, we're gonna find our land. I'm gonna be greedy about it. We're not at major risk of death, and the spore cap spider immediately stops the one thing they've been finding to attack with. So I like that. They largely get to see their whole library, though, so while I feel like we're in decent position, they could have some bomb that they're going to have access to eventually, unless, you know, we could mill it, but you know what I mean. Like, they're highly likely to continue to find... they're highly likely to see their good stuff. So now we can go pair Ravens, 1 activation... of Conrad. Yeah, I'm not going to play the 1/3. We're going to activate Conrad's with our spare mana. Library, there's 14, us 17. Now down to 13 over there. Yes, pair triggers the meme. I try not to make memes that are only triggered by rares. That's a little against the point here in limited land. Well, we might even wait on triggering the meme because we can get double broom on the current board. So I'm going to pass. I feel like we're in the commanding position. It's just that we could be toppled off of that position with one amazing card, you know? We might be able to just kill them faster with deck damage, but and maybe we're protected enough by revenge that, yeah, we should just grind out Conrad at this point. I think they're at 9. Yeah, maybe we just switch to full-on Conrad until they stop him. which means I should have played the pair because we are capped on activations at 3 with our current situation. Oppo sees what we're up to now. All right, another swamp is good. It's extra Conrad activations, and they're at 6 cards in library. We have 4 of them right here, and then so if we untap with Conrad, we win unless they have Forever Young. And as was pointed out, even if they have Forever Young, that ends up looking pretty good for Sir Conrad activations. Then we just win from damage. They're down to 5 after they draw, and we're still on 11 here. If you attack with brooms, at some point they block or die to Conrad. Yes, although let's keep in mind they are a virtual 12 on life total, so they're not quite, and you know, Cauldron, yeah, a lot of chumps, but yeah, really they're at 12. Oh, of course. So now maybe it's my fault because we could have been doing this more aggressively, and now, well, we're going to do it this way. Even with Conrad biting it here, he should do enough milling work that we still get him milled out unless they have... Now the Forever Young would be quite good for them. Yeah, let's take a nice look at their deck. Good deck. Order, Midnight Rider, Wicked Wolf. I like their deck better than ours. We'll see what we can do in a match here. But they're not showing Forever Young. That's kind of your critical thing here. They're down to a single card. Is this a May? Draw card's not a May, so we're going to let them have their final card with Adversary, no problem. Are they just trying to kill themselves? I guess they're going out on their terms. Going out on their terms, okay. No, they were just suiciding. Wow, okay. What the heck are we doing in sideboarding? In Super Grind, we might want the Innkeepers because they are just going to draw the cards. Yeah, we can play a Fell. Trail demands at least one return to nature, if not two. And then we can think about this Innkeeper package. Yeah, it was we're best of 3, and that was game 1. Yeah, Appetite not so great in the matchup, right? We have 1 return in. I don't know if we want 2, but maybe we just cut both both Appetites. That might be correct. Kind of want an Innkeeper. Yeah, what if we do get grindy? What is that? And we would cut a Revenge. It kind of helped, but I think we can get away with cutting a Revenge and something else stupid. I don't think I want the Brute in. I'm not adding the Brute. Question is, what are we cutting? Yeah, Funeral is another consideration. I got 27 seconds here, though. Yeah, I guess we can cut Dummy. Dummy's not great. 17-6. I'm going to leave the Funeral out for now. Well, I think there's a home for Funeral in the deck, but honestly, I just ran out of time, and I'd rather submit than try and get the Funeral in and then get none of those changes. That would have just been so much. That would have been awful. So if we go to 3, we'll consider that Funeral. None of our early action, but I can't throw this back given the quality of these 3 cards and having both of our colors. So we're going to keep. Anybody got fun plans for New Year's? What are y'all doing tonight? I'm going to try to find some people to game with me. Or I'll watch shows with my wife or something like that. Well, all right, they got a nice aggro start. We'll see how it goes. Pack 1, pick 1 was actually Brazen Borrower. Ugh. Wow, where did this hyper aggro come from? Well, we get a drop in Innkeeper and see what they've got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wow, they mulliganed 2, didn't they? Sorry, Oppo. Did they mulligan twice? No, once, right? Once. They're offering Gingerbrute for Innkeeper. Man, I almost want to take it because we got nothing in hand for next turn. But if it can live, it does pay us off with Treefolk and Reaper in hand if we can get there. I just feel like we're slipping behind here. Yeah, I might be trading for Lash of Thorns too. I think that's fine, though. It seems like what they're doing, right? It probably not offering Gingerbrute for Innkeeper, probably offering Lash of Thorns for Innkeeper, but I think we want to take that. Innkeeper is pretty far off from delivering value in our current hand, and so I'm going to use it more for its lightning rod capabilities. Hey, Amy, thank you so much for that raid, Amazonian. Hosting us. I guess it's a host, not a raid, or whatever you want to call it. Thank you, Amy. Appreciate that. To anybody watching from Amy's channel, welcome. My name is Ryan Spain. I co-created Limited Resources with Marshall Sutcliffe, went to work at Wizards for 7 years, and now I'm wasting my time here with you all. No, I love it. This is good. Good pickup. I was really worried about our lack of action until 4, and we got bailed out by this Oathsworn, and it's a fantastic blocker. So happy to get an Oathsworn for this situation. You got it, Amy. Hope you have a great New Year tonight. You doing anything fun? It's a good blocker once. I don't know. It's like a good blocker a bunch of times. Oh, yeah, I see what you mean. Yes, a good blocker once because then it starts attacking. No, I understand, yes. But it's a good blocker for us right now. Okay. Need some more mana eventually, but we made it to 4. Like, that was nerve-wracking opening slow hand, but now we've made it to 4. No need to throw counters on the Oathsworn yet. I'm going to drop a Revenge here. Could have gone Deathless as well. I might just reap their final hand, or final card, though, while it still does something. I guess that's the question. It's Reap or Revenge. I think we go ahead and Reap, because they're not close. They're a couple lands off from Tree Folk, so even if this is a land, we're pretty happy to get rid of it. And then if we Reap now, we're up against Gingerbrute plus the top of their deck, and we're pretty well positioned for that. So let's go ahead and Reap. Yeah, not a bad Reap. Not a bad one. It was okay. Stackler wants Deathless. We'll get there. Like now. Well, racing seems okay until they drop a land here. Then we got some thinking to do. We got a Tree Folk of our own, though. We can... I like Tree Folking up the Knight. Ooh, especially with that. So, because now we can... we could Sir Conrad, but we have to attack with the Oathsworn. So if we go ahead and Edgewall... We could also just Oath... yeah, no, let's do this. We got to keep attacking with this. They were planning to just eat the Oathsworn, and we get to throw that at them instead. We can even double block here if they attack with the Tree Folk. I played some Baba Is You. Yeah, it's fun puzzler, clever game. Not bad. But is it what we want to do? Because we can just Sir Conrad. If we attack with a Deathless, they're just going to eat it, but it is a forced block, basically. But if we attack, they're just going to block the Deathless and take the 5 anyway. Yeah, Treats and Revenge is also an interesting play, and it does let us threaten with the Deathless if we want. Five, six, yeah, okay, let's... But if we attack all, I'm a little uncomfortable with leaving us exposed to a crackback for 9. I think we just send Oathsworn. Yeah, I do like Revenge here, since we have the chumps for the Tree Folk. And we can make some food for next turn, potentially. All right. I liked their deck better than ours in terms of card quality, but we found some lines and had some luck and found the win. So good start. I'm going to update the record. I'm going to get some more coffee, take a quick bio break. I'm going to bring up the deck, run an ad, and then we'll talk about whether or not we want to adjust this deck at all before we dive in for the second match. So hang on, I'll be right back, and we'll talk deck upon my return. Hold on. Hey, thanks for hanging. Thanks for waiting. Amazonian viewers, thanks for sticking with me. Appreciate that. What are we going to do here? Remora wants the more aggressive version of this deck. I don't know if I want to go aggro on this. I think this is just a little bit grindier than aggro. I hear you, Remora. I just don't. I feel like we did. I think this is just a more grindy control deck where I'm going to forsake the aggro side. But we could cut, like, I might cut an Appetite for an Innkeeper. It's lightning roddy and can do some stuff. You know, it doesn't need to do too much before we're happy with the card we get back on it. I'm going to try this. Tell me more, Remora. What do you feel like running a handful of more aggressive 1-drops does for our game plan? What does it make better, so significantly better that we should do that? I'm not saying you can't be right. I'm just trying to understand the argument you're making there. Okay. Very keepable. Almost want to find something else to do on 2 so we can hold Curious Pair for the possible Innkeeper later. But not to be, so I'm not going to be stubborn about it. Besides, this Reaper of Night will eventually get us a card if we find the Innkeeper. Boo. Nothing to do on 3, like, at all. Like, not at all. We're not going to block, we're not going to attack, we're not going to cast anything, we're not going to eat any food, we're just going to flush 3 mana down the drain. We may try starting from an aggro standpoint later for science. Alright, Witchstalker is interesting. I think we can take one more turn before we reap. We're going to reap what's left of their hand next turn. So for this turn, Witchstalker or make a 3/5 Treefolk. 3/5 Treefolk actually interesting because it forces a pump from the Fireborn Knight and it still produces a trade. So I'm going to go with Treefolk, the Curious Pair, because I like what it does for the Fireborn Knight block. Doesn't? Oh, sorry. I was thinking it was pumped power. Well, at least we make them pump, which is fine too. Although this looks like a trick, right? This is going to be probably Squire. Yeah, thanks for that. I was I missed. I did math wrong. I was only looking at the power. I was thinking of it more like a lot of the red pump in this set, which is power based only. But we'll throw here and trade for a trick. It's obviously a trick. They don't attack with a Knight of the Keep into this Curious Pair without a trick. Although it's a weird one. It's a trick that makes them bounce. Oh, they're going to add to it too? Sure. Now, actually, with that, I like Conrad here, and we'll wait yet one more turn. They'll probably go draw, play. They might play 2 cards here, so maybe I'm missing out on a spot to reap. But it's also possible that of the cards they play, they might play this Rimrock, which would help us with that. It's a little bit, you know, you don't want to let them drop below to 1 card in hand, or else you lose some value off the Harvest Fear. Man, they've got more action. That's rough. Might just have to offer another trade for a trick here. Okay, well, that suggests that they don't have a trick and that they're offering a straight trade for the Fireborn. And let me make sure this works, right? Because they go, yeah, so that if they pump this to a 3/4 double strike, Conrad trades with it. I think I have that right this time. And yeah, they could have another Rimrock. But if we don't offer this trade here, what's our plan? Man, if they held back Knight to bait us into a trick, I'm going to tip my cap. And we're still trading with a trick is the thing. And if this game goes long, like we want it to, we're going to get Conrad back anyway. Yeah, we have 2 ways to get Conrad back, so let's make the offer. I'm just hoping it's an actual trade for the Fireborn Knight and not for a trick. That's what we really want here. All right, we got what we wanted. Now they can go play a land, play 1 card, and then we get the rest. All right, well, that's a lot of damage to take if we take a turn off to reap, so maybe we can't do that, and we need to take a turn to Treefolk here. Use all of our mana, and we can do Witchstalker, make some more food, and have food to eat as well. But I think I want our food for getting Deathless Knight back, so I'm just going to go Treefolk here. They didn't show the ability to attack through our Conrad, so I guess they could have drawn something here, but obviously if they had something last time to win combat versus Conrad, they would have used it. So, but this snap attack makes me think they did in fact find something. What can we do to mitigate tricks? If it is barge in, if it's a +2 +0 or +2 +2 trick, if we go on Rimrock, we at least continue to trade with it. If it's +2 +2 and we go here, we trade here as well, right? And if it's, we don't want to, well, we still trade everywhere. Yeah, Witches gets back Conrad. Good point. And in fact, we're going to do that. I think we still trade even with +2 +2. So I'm going to do this. Maybe something to finish off the Treefolk here. They were just 2 for 2ing them, 2 for 1ing. Oh, no. Well, trying to stabilize here. Trying. We draw a land, we can go Barrow Witches, get back Conrad, and have food. Okay, there's a land for that. We can also 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. All right, I'm going to go witches, food. Witches get Conrad, leave food. Yeah, we could make him discard, but we may just have to give up on this being a relevant part of what's happening here and focus on controlling the existing board. And now, being at a virtual 11, with them not having shown the ability to attack through big stuff, I really like where we're at. I don't know. Maybe they're just kind of getting chaotic here. Trebuchet. Annoying for sure, but I think we can get there and race it. Yeah, it doesn't seem like a good thrill deck, but sometimes you go to battle with the cards you have, not the ones you want per se. With 7 mana, we can Oathsworn and Fierce, but I think we gotta actually Oathsworn and just Reap. This should be very good for us. Ooh, and with that, we can start attacking. I'm going to play Conrad first, though, here, in case we have some creature death. Probably even send Barrow Witches at this point. I'm being a little conservative. Yeah, I should have swung with Barrow Witches. That was a mistake. I'm giving them maybe some extra draws with that. We'll see. Well, let's transform the Trebuchet after combat once it's taken some damage, and then it will... Well, let's see. Shining Armor... I guess it won't change its toughness, will it? Never mind. But we can go Deathless still. And that's a pretty good... Transform Knight? Why do we want to transform anything, sheesh? I'm not sure what we transform to good effect. Oh, Oathsworn to make it bigger? Yeah, I guess we could do that. But they're going to block it anyway, right? I mean, I think we're just lethal no matter what. Ah, well, there you go. Not lethal no matter what, I guess. Lethal no matter what. Oh yeah, we did have 7 anyway. It was still good. Yeah, I knew the knight couldn't block. I just didn't realize we had Xaxes through the tap. Wow, getting some lag on my end. The old white screen stall. Might have to remind me to restart the client after we're done with this match. Okay, well, the only flyer we saw was was this one, but they're playing in white. We could bring in Fell. I think I like cutting the once in future and going trouble is like tracker. Ugh, like Gingerbrute, Tracker, and Halberd are more aggro. Like, I want defensive speed. I don't necessarily want these small things, though, if that makes sense. We could also bring in a Return to Nature. They have Trebuchet, they have Shining Armor. Mid-combat Return to Nature on Shining Armor could probably do some work here. Yeah, that's the thing. I thought I was going to pivot into the aggro, but I don't even like what it does on defense that much. And that's really what I'm looking for here. Yes, it makes it a 7/7 that you can do whatever you want with. But it has no other abilities. Fell. Bring in the Fell for that. We only saw the one. I'm gonna just run this, and then if we go to game 3 and we see more flyers, I'll bring in a Fell. But we saw a pretty good chunk of their deck, and they only showed us one white flyer. And most of the knights are on the ground, you know. Remora Tracker is not a consistent 1-mana 2/2. That's the thing. That's what I don't like about it. We have all these humans in the deck. If the Tracker were just basically almost always a turn 2 2/2, I'd be with you, but it's not. It's often just a 1/1. Mabinap wants to mulligan this. I don't know. Got a Tempting Witch and Return to Nature for their Trebuchet. No, if you look at my early stuff, the early stuff is loaded with humans that don't turn on the Tracker. I'm gonna keep. We could get flooded. Big problem with 5 landers is flood, but Tempting Witch, good enough. Both colors, I'm gonna risk it. If you mulliganed, I don't blame you, but I got greedy. Maybe it's greedy to mulligan. I guess it's greedy to do whatever is a lower win percentage, if that makes any kind of sense. Oh yeah, that's the rule, Mabinap. You keep 5 landers, your first draw of the game is guaranteed to be a land, but often it's still worth it. See? The flooding potential is real, though, for sure. All right, Innkeeper gives us something to do. I counted, Remora. I think we had like four things that turned on the. That's if we ran the Brute too. I don't think there's anything that can hurt us. Well, I guess there's Gideon destroys attacker or whatever, but that's fine. Yeah, we're dodging serious bullets here with Oppo, with aggro Oppo doing nothing until a Fireborn on 4. Yeah, that's not great. Dummy. Yeah, those are the ones I remember, Remora. Yeah, what are they? Or maybe they just pitched this. Oh yeah, they had their splash. Like, what did they? I can't remember. We didn't see black last game, so they must have just running a couple swamp splash, and they found both of their swamps or whatever. That is bold, Oppo. I really don't want to lose to this level of greed. Let's take it out. Might just have to play Barrow Witches for no value, but this is a tough situation, actually. They got greedy, but it's paying off for them here. We don't have a lot of blocks that make any sense on this board. But if we play Barrow Witches, what are we trying to accomplish with that? I guess we do set up a trade for Fireborn if we double block. But I bet they have some tricks here too, so not sure that actually works for us by the end. Maybe we chump the Resolute Rider with the Jousting Dummy to make them spend some mana on their turn to do that, and then we just get it back for free with Barrow Witches next turn. And we can keep a Return to Nature up. Like if they go for Shining Armor here, that's pretty decent for us. But they kind of have to spend to save the Rider. We need some of our big stuff, like a Reaper off the top, strip their hand a little bit, and then play a 4/5. That could get us out of this. Great, so they're using their whole turn on this. That was basically the plan. Although it means we're not really doing much with our turn either. Yeah, nothing to return. And I don't want to eat that food yet. All right, all right. Is that worth it now? I guess we play the Witches and get get our dude back, and then threaten to trade all of our witches, all 4 witches for the Fireborn. Let's see if that works out. We can send in Innkeeper if we're not hoping to block there. They pump here, get 3, 6, and 6 isn't 7, so yeah, I like that. We'll take Resolute and put their witches on the Fireborn and see what they've got. I think we end up facing a trick here, but we're somewhat in a place where I don't see us beating tricks, so we're going to make them have them. Well, which witch, first of all, what you're talking, like, so... Oh, yeah, no, okay, that doesn't work either. So I guess we chump. Let's see, what do we do? Could make them use their whole turn on it at least. That's, again, kind of the thing. But I guess we're just like, again, we're kind of abyssed here. Well, I'm not gonna make a play that's based on Oppo screwing up. I kind of like maybe even just taking this round. Yeah, I'm with Smock. I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm gonna make him, if they want to pump Fireborn, like we could just lose here, but it's such a bad spot to try and block in. I think we have to just take it and see if we can survive. See if we can not take 16 points of damage here. But in a world of Rimrocks and Fireborn Knights, you just don't know. You might take 16 out of nowhere. This is about one of the greediest decks I've ever seen, and I really don't want to lose a match to it. Sorry, Josh. You're on my list, man. I do not want to lose to this deck. What greed. I mean, I consider myself a pretty greedy Magic player, but Fireborn Knight, Resolute Rider, Sir Conrad, and this mana base are WTF. I mean, that's why they're running Thrill. And, you know, that's a reasonable argument they could make. Josh could say, hey, look, I get it, but that's why I'm running these Thrills. But yes, the double and quadruple color requirements that Oppo is putting in a 3-color deck are like... Yeah. All right, Magic Gods, I don't ask for much. I complain a lot, but I don't ask much of the Magic Gods. Please, Magic Gods, help me find a way in Game 3, because that is some nonsense, and I would like to see Oppo suffer a little bit for their mana choices. See, now we're on the play. We could try to get... What if we bring in this aggro package on the play? Not much user. Like, we have 2 innkeepers, and when we first ran it, I even cut the 1. In fact, I think I may cut the 1 now, because I'm also thinking I'm going to cut Reaper. Well, no, it's not Roddy. We're on the actual play. It's different. We're on the play. I understand, Smock, but it's a different world in that we're on the play here. And they're aggro. I mean, you just don't want to play a bunch of late game stuff against aggro. You want the Reaper in? I don't know, man. They do have a lot of big stuff for Knights, I suppose. Well, if we keep Reaper in, what else are we? What are we cutting then? Even just an egg. I'll try this. Egg is fine in our deck, but it's not amazing when we're on a board control race early. All right. Jousting dummy. I need a swamp, really, before... ideally, we find a swamp for the turn 3 Oathsworn, but we do have turn 3 Tempting Witch, if not. There's our swamp. Nice. Yeah, we could have done turn 2 order, but not when you have a jousting dummy. There's just no need to do order when you've got a nice alternative, right? Oppo doing nothing on 2 is great. Let's see if they do us another favor and do nothing on 3 with their horrendous mana base. Yeah, suck it, horrendous mana base. Yeah, now I'm gonna have to start like the Church of Magic Gods or something, because I've moved in on the power of prayer to fake magic gods. To transform it, yeah, we can just transform Oathsworn. Here's a funny thing we can do. We can transform Oathsworn. We could also return to nature the transformation if we want to turn it back into an actual Oathsworn at some point. Yeah, let's go for it. We even have, because the biggest punishment if we go for transformation on Oathsworn is that like they have trapped in a tower or something. We have Return to Nature for that. So yeah, let's get big. Big britches. Another revenge. Yeah, I like our chances. Thank you, Magic Gods, for giving us a good start. Yeah, now I just like order, you're right. Seven into this. They have 4 points of first strike, but it's still a clear attack. And yeah, still clear attack. And we have the return play if we think it's good based on what they do. Might just chump. Chumping there. All right. Probably just play Tempting Witch and have the chuck food next turn for the more guaranteed win. Look at that, though. I did not get my exact prayer, which is Oppo suffering for their mana base. Instead, the perfect Doubletron, double Mardutron, but double Mardutron is not winning on this board, so... I'm gonna send it all. No need to send the dummy. It's just not getting through and not doing anything effective on the way. They're doing it this way. Okay. Yeah, I guess I should have attacked. I didn't think they were going to block that way. Okay, that's fine. We're still just gonna drop the witch and threaten to win next turn. But I might like this is a place where we could totally return to nature the Kenriths to. Although, let's see. Is that worth it? That's just fancy play. We'll just let it all happen. It's fine. But yeah, should have sent the dummy, then this game just would be over now. Or at least we'd still have a 7/7. We would have ended up with a 1/1, but they would have kept their creatures. Or they would have kept one of them at least, right? Sometimes I play too fast, yeah. It's a tough balance. If I lollygag too much with the clicking around here, it gets to be boring TV, you know? So it's a balance. No matter what, we would have ended up with a 4/4. The first strike hits and turns it into a 3/3. Then it has 3 power of damage to deal to a 2/3 into the other one. So they would have kept a creature. Regardless, we have 2 wins. We've made some gems back here. We can take a quick look at whether we want to tweak anything based on what we've seen. Golden Egg has been underwhelming. I know we do some stuff with food, but it's not that important. I kind of want to cut the egg for something more action on the early side. Put the Insatiable Appetite back in even. Or cut the innkeeper, and we can, you know, like cut innkeeper and try the more aggressive approach. We could do something like this and find another cut, like that. I'm kind of curious to try this version, so I'm going to give this one a try now. We'll play a little more aggro, see how it goes. I happened to start out of the gate strong, Smock, but it was never in doubt because I had, you know, there was always the plan. And in fact, I think we did run out of resources at one point. Like there was certainly one point in the stream where, hey, our free-to-play account has no gems and no gold, so we're going to play on the paid account today. That definitely happened early on at some point. But that was always the plan. Not to abandon the free-to-play experiment, but to just note how often we had to dip into the wallet for the paid account to keep playing as much as we wanted. Yeah, I should... basically, I have the paid account that's now feels like the least important account that I have going. Anyway, what are we doing here? We've got some nice cards, but we're on the draw with nothing going on early game. This is pretty scary to keep. But Witch Stalker, not surely S Zebra, because if we get any kind of... If we get one land in any early action in the next stretch, we're fine. And yeah, turn 4 Witch Stalker is pretty awesome. I'm going to be greedy and keep... based on the strength of the Witch Stalker and the fact that we have a lot of early drops. I mean, we're just likely to find plays. And we found our land. So in our first 2 draws, we found exactly what I was looking for, which is our 4th land for the Witch Stalker and something to do before then. We could wait and try to eat a dwarf with Insatiable Appetite next turn. But I'm inclined to just try and offer this trade here. I don't know how many dwarves they have, but it's a scary card. Let's trade for Trick or Dwarf. And it will be Trick. Hey, Vaporkin, welcome. Happy New Year to you. Have you hit midnight where you are? Probably, right? Nothing on 3, but ultimately our mulligan keep risk paid off here because we did make it to turn 4 in pretty good shape with the stuff we wanted available to us. I love that we have Conrad on 5 with Barrow Witch's backup to get Conrad back if they do anything about him. We're going to continue trading for tricks and stuff here. Insatiable Appetite is a nice blowout, but yeah, with our hand, I mean, we're at 18. We could just take this. We have another Stalker, though. We have life. I'm going to continue to go the attrition route with the backup hand we've got here. That was what was telegraphed by that attack, because the thing with another Carver is that the Stalker still trades with these off Carver, so it didn't feel like a Carver. But again, and with this follow-up play, I'm glad to not take it. I mean, we just have to try and run them out of tricks and then hope that our bigger stuff is enough to shut them down. Wow. Relentless. So this has to be Rimrock. We are getting our rims rocked, that's for sure. But if that puts them out of stuff, I guess we trade for the Rider so that they can't do any shenanigans. But Barge or Rimrock both trade here, and then we can Barrow Witches, get Conrad back, and again have another blocker. We got to take something from the Witch Stalker, but then if they're out of gas, we should be close to stable. So we're going to trade for a Rimrock plus Rider here. Or Barge in. Again, that's fine. It's even better, because it's a full card instead of a half card. Ooh, we could go Witch Stalker Dummy. Or even Witch Stalker Appetite. Witch Stalker Dummy threatens double 2 blocks, though. I'm going to go Witch Stalker Dummy. All right, Goose is going to be hyper annoying, but we're stable-ish. We'll go Witches. Get back Conrad. Decks are 26 to 27, so actually that's a problem. Right now, Conrad mills us before we mill them, and they're going to gain a lot of life every turn. Maybe we do need to start attacking. Let's see, if I played the Halberd, we get a 6/5 Trampler. If we attack in with that, they're going to block probably... Maybe they just don't block at that point. But I still think we just throw this on the old Witch Stalker. But I don't think we attack here. We're going to wait and attack with Insatiable available. Kind of hoping for a land so we could Conrad plus Insatiable. We didn't get there. And they know about our Conrad. I think I'm going to be patient for another turn, even though it means Goose food generation. It's rough. We could just go Tempting Witch Appetite here. Yeah, maybe that's fine. I'll attack with the Stalker. I bet they try and trade. They've got tools to make a trade here, so... And they know we have Conrad. Okay, well, if they're going to do that, maybe then we follow with Conrad. No, I think I'm going to do Witch, and then we have Witch plus Appetite for crackback attacks. Yeah, we could have run out Conrad, though, but I like appetiting their Witch Stalker here. Yeah, we're kind of up against 3 life a turn as a fallback plan for Oppo. Hopefully they go for an attack here. Why is food meaningless? If we were going to win the mill race, I would call food meaningless, but since we actually have to win by damage right now, I don't know if that's the case, that it's meaningless. All right. Well, we're going to keep sending. At this point, we could... oh, I should have played Conrad, though. Dummy. Still going to send it, though. Send it like this. Why are we ever attacking with Conrad? Because again, they're gaining a lot of life every turn, and we don't win the mill race. That's why. Mill race is 1 card. 25 to 20. Oh, 24. Yeah, we're 1 card off. So if it changes, it becomes a new plan. But right now, we're... What do you mean? We mill ourselves out before they mill... We can do it on their turn, though. That's true. Yeah. Good call, Remora. When you're close with Sir Conrad on win conditions, you have to complete the milling on your turn. So like it needs like a pretty big gap. That's a fair point. I didn't consider that. Upkeep mill does give us a plan there, but I still like putting the pressure on. Yeah, I like what Smock is saying. I mean, it's still worth working that out. I'm glad I got that straight in my head. You want to have your plan. And it would have been bad to strategize this game incorrectly based on my expectations of what Conrad could do. So now they're attacking. Pretty suspicious. We're going to block with... let's see. If we block with a dummy and make it 5/5... It's got 7 power, which I guess if they have their own appetite, we weren't going to win that combat anyway. But I'm going to try and eat with this, because then if there's a blowout, we don't lose Conrad or Witch, which I like both of here. They've been playing around this, so I kind of expect them to have an answer. That's why I'm kind of just risking it on Jousting Dummy. They've been clearly playing around Insatiable Appetite for the last 2-3 attacks. So for them to suddenly not suggest they drew something to manage it, and we're just going to offer up our worst for that potential. Yeah, there you go. See? And then they had to, they were hoping we would block with Conrad or whatever. This puts us pretty low, but we have the food to come back from that. And Rider is interesting here. But let's see, let's think this through. What do we really need to have available? We send in the Stalker. Yeah, they can't use the goo. Well, they can make food. They can eat, I suppose. They can't eat and make, though. Yeah, that might be we can't really force a block on something that taps, though, is the problem with that, Craig. They just tap in response when you try to force the block. But yeah, I'm going to attack with Witch Stalker and play the Rider, and then leave everything else available. Mostly we got to keep food around to eat in case this 3 life gets precarious. Now, and we don't need to block their Stalker is the thing. We can put Witch, and we can put the Witches on the Stalker, and that's fine. Don't do that. And we see their hand, so for Witch, both Witches on Stalker to not work, they need to draw something, which can happen, of course, but makes it a much safer play. And we can eat food in response as needed. Right now we have the choice of Conrad or food eating, and we're gonna do the one that makes, and food throwing. We have a lot of options to do with our 5 mana and our food here, so we gotta play it carefully. I mean, I think the double block is strong enough that they're just not even going to attack now. And we probably just activate Conrad once before untapping and then throw some food. Although, the thing is, throwing food is just a losing game. I'd rather... Okay. They just are done. Fine with me. Red-green... Kind of aggro non-human. There's some human here. I don't know if they have non-human synergies, but I see this kind of deck. I expect a Grum Goalie. Seems a little premature, but maybe they know their deck. I don't know. I didn't think it was over either. That's why I was strategizing what was next. Wasn't expecting the scoop, but we'll take it. 0 flyer. Well, we have the goose. I should have said 0 flyers, and there's the goose. But we're not going to bring in Fell the Pheasant just for the goose. Although it's funny that it's Fell the Pheasant. It's the flavor's spot on. But I don't like. Well, Spore Cap does some decent defensive work here. We could bring back in Reaper. We find anything to disenchant. We don't want to disenchant food, and there's nothing. So nothing for disenchant. No, let's not splash the borrower. Yeah, we can bring in another Insatiable Appetite. I hear what you're saying about Fell, because the goose is super annoying, but it looks like literally the only card. This might as well say Fell the Goose if we bring it in, and I don't know if it's worth it. But I will cut the spider, because it's not doing a great job for us. We have 16 creatures still, so we could put back in the second Appetite. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Festive Funeral is an interesting answer to have an answer to Goose that's not so restrictive that it's only good against Goose. Yucky! Don't love the Halberd unless you have, like, unless you're really stacked with low drops. Can we keep this? It might be a yucky keep, but it's yucky. Remor says have to mull. I don't think you have to mull these. Your hand doesn't have to be perfect to, you know, like at least we're at the spot of we'll take just about anything. Like, we don't want swamps, but everything else is a reasonable draw. All right, I'll mulligan. See, it's worse. We're gonna keep this though. As much as London helps, we're not gonna go to 5 here. Blah. Maybe we go to 5. Going to 5? Vaporkin thinks we should just turn on the white listing. Yeah. Let's try 5. Definitely keeping this. And I think Gingerbread is too low impact to keep. Even though it's a turn 1 play. Might even want to take the Appetite out and just keep lands and a couple creatures. I mean, this is the strongest start we have, I think. Not good. Well, suffice it to say our mulligans were correct, if for no other reason than we were going to get run over if we tried to keep any of those other hands. A lot comes down to whether or not they have a trick here. Got to trade for one of their creatures or we're in deep trouble. Deep trouble it is, everyone! Not bad, really, given all things considered. And you even get some meme value out of this. All right. They're coming in hard to the paint. If we can... I don't know how we do... I don't know how we survive here, but it starts with trading with a red cap. Like, this is bad. You have removal for that? Oh, man. All right. Perfect game from Oppo. I don't know. We can craft a hand where we're fine against that start. We just didn't have it. Any new information from that? Not really. I'm leaving it in. Yeah, once in future is a little weak here. But if we turn the corner, it's fine. It's just, we hope it's not in our opener. It's now going to be in our opener, but, you know. More garbage. This is not helpful, deck. We have to mulligan this. There's nothing to do here. And we're going to keep this and hope the lifelink is useful. And what are we ditching? Probably Oathsworn. We have to be pretty lucky to cast it on 3, and whereas Sir Conrad does stuff on 5. I mean, it's Conrad or Oathsworn, right? I suppose maybe, given our mulligan, we have to hope we're a little lucky. And find the swamp and get down defense. Yeah, I'm going to ditch Conrad. And this is somewhat of a going for a lucky result. Like going for the luck of finding a swamp here. Because if we do find a swamp and they don't have their straight up burn, maybe we're okay. I get it. Oathsworn doesn't defend, but it's quite a clock. If we can find a swamp, I think we'll be happy. Yeah, so let's see if I'm right. Double Revenge seems good against what we saw. Ooh, God, that was almost a disastrous land drop, Ryan. Get your act together. We can go ahead and send in the Swordmaster here, though. Just trying to keep your, like, by almost playing a forest, you can think of it as calisthenics for my listeners. It really gets that heart rate going. Sending both. Happily trade Swordmaster for either of these. And Bargain doesn't do anything on defense for them. Then we get Raven to really start locking this down. Raven should be frustrating for Oppo, to say the least. How about you? None shall pass. Yeah, scoop to the double Ravens. The New York Yankees Bat Boy says, "Can you help me understand this? Because here, I'll hop into a soapbox view and take this question. Can you help me understand this? Because I've been pretty critical of your decisions lines, but you're more experienced than me, and I want to see if I have holes I'm ignoring. I feel like you play a lot to not lose. Example, prepping a sideboard card for the goose, and play with a lot of contingencies. For example, having a halberd. I prefer to play for a more linear and synergistic plan whenever possible, especially in this format. How do you think about your decisions and lines?" Well, for one thing, I declined to bring in anything against the goose, so I think we're on the same page there. I mean, like, people were calling out to sideboard explicitly for the goose, but I decided not to. I mean, it's just decision by decision. That particular decision is about the fact that I didn't think there was another thing in their deck to hit with Fell the Pheasant, and to bring in a silver bullet against one specific card is only something I do if the card cannot be beaten otherwise. But in terms of like, you don't like the halberd. I mean, I didn't start with the halberd. Like, the point is, Magic is hard, you know. I like this strategy. I like the halberd Gingerbrute tracker strategy more when I know I'm on the play, and when I know that the matchup is good for aggro. Halberd is kind of weak in this deck. That's why I didn't start there. My original build looked more like this. What was it? Had another appetite, maybe even, and like this egg, something like this, or it was maybe his Reaper appetite. Like, this was my original build because I'm with you. Like, I didn't like how light our aggro was. Like, some of my best decks in this format have been 5 trackers, 2 halberds, right? But when you're light on that side of things, it just doesn't do what you want. So I don't know if that answers your question, but on the goose front, we were on the same page. And in terms of, yeah, I would much prefer to have a stronger aggro plan to be running this, but we're giving it a try. I mean, Magic is so hard to know what the true win percentage increase is given any situation, and I don't know. I'm leaning instinctually, but the thing is, you're playing somewhat of a game of rock scissors paper with the meta, and you could make the argument that the meta is skewing aggro right now, so we should be skewing towards a defense against aggro. And whether or not that, so like maybe we cut once in future and bring in something just a little bit better for the early blocks, but we just don't have it, is the thing. So I'm not bringing in this. So yeah, I don't know. I'm going to go back to this. I think this is a better place. I like being here better and only doing aggro if I know it's the right matchup and I'm on the play. But we'll go here. Hey, also, wait a second. Just casually made it to 3-0 without updating my record. And without playing you this. Oh, did I not put it on this one? Oh, I'm in Soapbox. That's the problem. Here, we'll go over here. Hooray! But yeah, I do want to restart the client. Thank you for that. Let's do that. I didn't put any of this in the spreadsheet either. Let's start today's spreadsheet entry. We got December 31st, free to play 2. Thank you for that sub. Traditional. Draft, Eldraine. We're black-green. Paid 1,500 and 0 on the grind. All right, I like this. Rider on 2 into egg lets us lure something if we deem it necessary. Dead. Dearly Divided is a new sub. Those are I love resubs are great because it shows people are coming back. New subs are great because it shows people are choosing to sign up. Love it both, but welcome to the club. Dearly Divided. I'm revenging over reaping. They might end up with 2 cards in their hand after this turn. Unlikely, but if they do, anyway, we're trying to get the last couple of cards from their hand. We're gonna reap them next turn. Hey, Fluffy, lurk away. Where do you work? Or maybe not where do you work. What do you do? What are you doing today as you work and watch? Order could get us back the Rider, and then the Rider can block the Curious Pair. And they're still a turn away from being able to be fully reaped. So yeah, I'm gonna alter fate and get a Rider back. You know I love me some spreadsheets, Fluffy. Now they kind of need to have removal, or else we get to eat their Curious, or trade for their Curious Pair if we want. Or Combat Trick. But if they come in with Pair, I'm snap blocking with Rider. Happy to make that trade for the Curious Elk or for whatever trick they have. As we know, that card's terrible. I'm just saying that because we've declined to play ours. But they spent 5 mana to get the effect -1/-1. Now I'm gonna reap. We can reap in order, and it gives us 2 spells, and I don't want them to get down to 1 card in hand. So let's get 2 of their final 3 here. Witch and Bake. Bake into a Pie, they don't have the second black, so they might have been ditching Bake not because they have some amazing card that's better than Bake, but because they couldn't cast the Bake. Keeper of Fables looks like the keeper of their hand. Ooh, okay. I'm just gonna go Tree Folk here. Well, we haven't used it yet, though, right? We can just race. Yeah, we could put counters on Flyer, but I really want to try and not accept. Although I guess they get Keeper cards for the rest of the game with Ginger Brute anyway. So maybe it's correct to do that. Yeah, I think we have to give up. They're just going to get all the cards they want, so we kind of have to do that, I think. Yeah, we're going to try and get the Keeper next time. And let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, we could just lose to Pump of theirs if we're not careful here. So maybe I just need to eat food this time. But I want to get the Curious Pair out next turn with Insatiable Appetite ready. So I'm going to risk losing to a trick here. And create the food token now. So that next turn we can play the pair and have Insatiable Appetite. Yeah, Ravens will heal a little too. Good point. So yeah, we're gonna make food token, and they might not even attack with Brute. They're gonna get their card off the Fables anyway. So they're gonna attack with 2. We take 5 total and go to 6. So even that's fine. Even Appetite doesn't win him the game. Yeah, we could plant trees next turn too. The bottom line is something to deal with the Keeper. Could even just play Reaper if we get another land. 4 or 5 at least bounces. Then they could just be Ginger Brooding though, so I don't know. But not attacking with the Keeper is the same thing. Basically, Ginger Brute's going to keep drawing them cards if they want to attack into the Ravens to do so. Yeah, but it might be worth it for cards for a few turns, David, is what I'm saying. But like I said earlier, we're kind of going to be behind the card race, and that's all there is to it, and we need to win via the air here. Okay. So much for the order. Oh, although, well, yeah. Let's see. They have 2 cards in yard. Man, we can almost just get them here. It does bring him to a super low life total. I think we do hit him for 9 here. Mike wants... Wow! You weren't dead! Okay. I'll take it. Okay, they got some decent removal here. Reef Soul, Transformation. We saw some good stuff in hand. Also some weak removal, but... Transformation, Ginger Brute. Could be worth bringing in Artifact Hate. Or, you know, Naturalize effects. Cut an egg for a Naturalize effect. No flyers over there to speak of. We could cut the spider on that front, but it's decent blocker in general, and they're pretty aggro. Just kind of a 1/5 for 3, not the worst. Yeah, I'll run Return to Nature over the egg. Try this. Well, we got it. Return instead of the egg. We'll see if it plays for us. We're going to keep this, though, obviously. A fine start. Nothing for 2 here. We would have had an egg, if not return. Maybe they'll try something. Maybe they'll try a halberd or something. Well, they wouldn't. It's a human, so never mind. But a witch. Actually, we'll do spider. Spider's a really nice blocker against a 2/1. Not going to use Return Nature on that food. Not good enough. I like where this hand is headed. We'll see what tools they have to get around this spider. That'd be a fun play, making their funeral just weak enough to not do what they want. With that... Well, 3/7 spider, pretty good. It gets a target on it, and probably just lose it to bacon to a pie, but maybe that's fine. We can also throw Tempting Witch out, and then we can actually double block for a 1/1 with the Paladin. I'm just nervous about it getting removed, like it would get Reeve Souled and stuff. I'm going to wait on the Tree Folk, and I'm going to go with Witch here. And now we can threaten to double block the Paladin. Good to see them short on black, but they're going to find a swamp eventually and probably unlock some stuff in their hand. Well, I guess Bake was the only thing we saw that was black, right? What else was there? Seemed to be... I'm going to show them, you know.
Okay. I'm gonna watch you show them.
My wife is home, which is unusual. I'm not usually streaming with my wife looking at me, but she took Christmas to New Year's off, so she's enjoying her week off and is harassing me with notes. So I don't know if you agree, but hers is the only vote that matters.
I do.
Well, they're not attacking with anything else. We're going to call them, see what they want. See what they got. See what you got. Wow, I was expecting to trade for a trick. I'm thrilled with that trade. Okay, that's what they were up to. Still thrilled with the trade. What do we want to do now? We've got a natural Conrad. Yeah, I guess we go Conrad ahead of Swordmaster. if they find Appetite, we're going to lose Conrad. But then we have, again, nice stuff. We can make a Swordmaster, put counters on it. I'm just going to go Conrad here. Make them do their worst. Reeve Soul? Feels like a Reeve Soul incoming on Spider. Maybe they're just looking, though. I don't know. Yeah, we almost had Fizzle the Order, right? Too bad. I'm really thinking this is a naturalized too. I got to remember that we have those options. We're going to ditch, of course, the return now, though. And really, probably the Appetite. Those feel like the least useful card. Maybe the Swordmaster could go here, but I'm going to ditch Trick and Narrow Answer. Keep everything else. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, David. Get the counters on the Swordmaster. They don't have blocks on Conrad with 1 green mana up, so we have a Conrad attack. Leaving the Spider back here. Still a good blocker against what's going on there. And they just have the Tempting Witch, easy trade, easy bounce block. Interesting pause with only 1 green mana. Let's work that out. Must be Rose Thorn Acolyte, although that's a sorcery, right? The adventure on that. What do we have for single green mana, instant speed in the set? What am I missing? Could be a full control thing, but... yeah, I think we skip the drain and make it 3/4. I think that's correct. If we drain, we get 1 drain, but it costs us being able to play the 6/5 next turn. So I think Razor is correct there.
I never heard of ya, a rap burglar.
So what's the pause? Weird. Maybe they went into full control or something. Now it's not pausing. I don't know. Maybe they just paused for a moment. Yeah, maybe I misinterpreted a declare blockers pause as a trick pause. That seems possible too. Bieber fan, thank you so much for the resub. Appreciate that. Well, now they're out of order. We could really just start cranking on Conrad. If we attack with everything, they double block Conrad. I think we just give them the Swordmaster for the Paladin if they want it, and then drop the 6/6. right? I mean, they're going to trade here, but it's a pretty good trade. We get some life back, and then we have this monstrous creature on their board. We get a couple Conrad pings. Yeah, let's do it. I'm in. Alright, that's the block we expected. And now we get our Tree Folk. And just hope that we're too big for them to stop. I mean, they got a Reaper coming, so it's not like they're going to be tiny forever, but at least Tree Folk and Reaper is a nice matchup. You need to double block there. All right, programmers out there, here's the overlay I want. I was thinking of this from what David was saying, because he says, for anyone who doesn't scryfall, I highly recommend you can even keep a window open to search for tricks while you are playing. There should be a tool that shows all possible instant speed actions an opponent could have based on their currently available mana. That would be sweet. The play around tool. Speaking of play around, there's that Reeve Soul that kept us from wanting to put Tree Folk counters on the spider, and it worked out because they ended up killing the spider anyway. And we can order it back. Anybody want to order up a spider? I guess we start by offering them this stuff, and then we can order back either Tree Folk or Conrad if that's what's going on here. Really, what we'd love to do is trade the Tree Folk off for the Reaper, and then get it back after that. But if there's a... Oh, boy. Oppo is not in a great spot if they're doing that, but maybe it just means they have Forever Young. That could be a sign of Forever Young to come. I'm going to go Sorcerer's Broom... Well, we could just get something back here. Yeah, I guess we just start brooming, right? Yeah, we can just activate Conrad until we have something better to do with this order. I like that. And then we can start copying brooms with food next turn. Well, looks like order... Well, they roll over Conrad. Makes you think Conrad's going to die, which makes you think order has a job to do. Well, same size, but Sporecap Spider's an interesting option, given their line of attack. But we're at such high life total, I'm not worried about using order on a Sporecap at this point. Cool. So order is going to do some work getting Conrad back for us. Ah, we knocked out their Forever Young. That's nice. Ooh, nice. With land, we even get to play Conrad this turn. Yeah! Look at that. Cruising along, 4-0. Two shots at the max wins. Flying horse. I guess I didn't realize Archon was a flying horse. I am going to be streaming tomorrow. That's the plan. I'll stay up till midnight tonight or whatever, but I'm not a big New Year's Eve partier, so it's not like I need New Year's Day to recover or anything, so I'm going to be drafting. Hope you're all with me. Looking for 5. Pretty low action start in terms of the first couple of turns, but I also can't quite let this go. We could get rolled over. We might just see a vicious curve out from Oppo and we shrug and die, but I can't throw this back. Uh-oh. Well, hopefully that's their only dwarf, and that's a lovely draw for us, because now even if they have a second dwarf, we can trade for that one. Great draw. I just wanted anything to do before 4. And that's a great thing to see from Oppo as their turn 3 play. We even have an appetite to use if we want to. Yeah, it gives us something to do this turn. Looks like they don't want to make that trade. Very suggestive of further dwarves incoming. Indeed. I think if they only have one dwarf, they make that trade. That's why it was pretty clear to me they had more. If they have another one, they can even just trade with a Witch Stalker, and that's not great, I gotta say. But we can get the Witch Stalker back with Once and Future, and actually, let's do this. I'm gonna force the trade now. Because this way, if they do have another dwarf, and we're in the 4-0 bracket, and they're doing dwarves, so I imagine they have like 12 dwarves or whatever. We're gonna take out the one dwarf so that if they have a third dwarf at the ready, it doesn't make this one big enough to trade with a Witch Stalker. And we could go Oathsworn, hold up Insatiable, but I'm going to Reap while the Reaping is decent. Get their 2 of their last 3 cards on a board where we have a great defender. What do we get? A couple of non-knight, non-humans, so maybe it's just kind of non-human action. We're going to stay on D, though. We're trying to grind them out. And we're really on track to do that with this hand against this deck. Now we get Oathsworn with Appetite up, and we get Reaper next turn guaranteed with the Forest. So coming up Millhouse here, almost to the point where I think we should attack. I'm going to attack. Oathsworn plus Appetite is a nice defensive turn. That, however, concerning. That's the kind of thing that explains a 4-0 matchup, you know? Still, we're in good shape, though. I think, so they're going to do 6 with red cap and another 4 with dwarves. So we're taking 10, going to 7. We get to eat the ogre, and then they don't have the easy red cap attack next time. So we got to send in the knight, because that's how the card works. And they may go for the block with Torbran, since this is a forced attack. This is one of the great hidden upsides of the forced attack, is often people will be like, oh, I'll block because they have to. They have to attack, so it's a good block. And if they had, we would have blown them out nicely. They didn't. Now with 7 mana, we can just drop the Reaper. If we go once in future, we only have 4 mana back, and we only have the Rider anyway. So I'm just going to go Reaper, and we'll see if we can hold him off here. Well, we got to go here and here, I think. Bargain, let's see, is it going to be enough? Yeah, Bargain was enough. They had to have that card, though. Darn it, tough to lose that one, because, man, we played that to the best of our ability, and they just had... The last card in their hand was the right card. Yeah, man, that's rough. Because even if we untap there, we're not going to lose to that. Like, they had to have it right then. Frustrating. All right, Hyper Aggro red with Torbran. Basically mono red. Splashing some kind of black. Probably for the equipment would be my guess. Trying to think of what red would bother splashing black for. And the only thing I can think of in this type of deck is that crazy knight equipment. Return to nature. What did that have targets for? Nothing, basically. We might presume a possible trebuchet or whatever, but we're not going to bring in something just on that possibility, of course. This is where, like, I mean, we're bringing... It kind of makes me want to cut the once in future and bring in a little more early game, but our early game isn't good in this situation. Like, I can bring in the Ginger Brute, but what is it really doing? Like, you bring in Ginger Brute, and what are we expecting it to do? Like, I look at this deck of what we've seen of it, and Ginger Brute does nothing useful. Maybe even just an extra pump spell. Yeah, maybe it's not knights. We can drop an egg too for even just a henge walker. Ugh. All right, I'm gonna run this. Yeah, Smock wanted Hengewalker as something to play at 3, and I was close. But it's so often just... It's mostly going to be a 2/2 for 3 for us, and I can't do it. I can't put a Grey Ogre in the deck. It just doesn't feel right. Another one that's kind of a rough keep, but I don't see how we throw this back. We got Revenge, and we're on the play. Here's this Appetite that I now don't like because it's here too early. I'm going to keep it. We might regret this, but I'm Mr. Aggro Keep, I guess. Maze of Death. I just don't like bringing in a tracker. It just doesn't have enough to make it a sure thing 2/2 on 2. How about any 2-drop we're willing to play? Like that one! Clean living, folks. Clean living. There's another spot where we might learn a lot about their hand based on their choice here. So that makes me think yet more dwarves incoming. But again, I wasn't going to stay back and stay on Appetite D. I'm going to make him have it. Show me a dwarf. Okay, that's interesting. That's one card that may, to at least put on the scale for whether or not we bring in naturalize effects out of the board for a possible game 3. Just go Ravens here, partly because I think, you know, we might be the more aggro deck here, and right now we kind of are being that way. Yeah, I like Ravens here over Golden Egg plus Appetite availability. It's another tough thing. I'm not sure, Bat Boy. Like, when to be aggro and when to be the control player is not just about what you know about the decks. It's also about what's going on the given board. And right now we're kind of winning the race, and I think we have enough going on in terms of food and stuff that I want to keep going aggro. A 4-drop 5/2 hasty 6/2 hasty knight could be rough. Torbrand could be rough. Well, there you go. I guess what we're going to do with Torbrand. Torbrand, you're an elk. And we'll go with Golden Egg, look for another land, and now we'll stay back and threaten to block here. Glad we found a land. But now I feel we are a little more defensive. I mean, yeah, they found Torbrand, but if they didn't, I still liked us being aggressive. And we can turn it into a stall. If it goes from race to stall, we can work that out. Yikes. That's painful. This has been great for the heavy red decks as a top end, for sure. All right, Oathsworn here, plus the Insatiable is nice. I'm going to keep that for this turn. If they have more Searing Barrage, it survives it, you know. Right. I mean, that's the thing, Bat Boy. Like, I was a little bit aggressive because in the case where we do win on aggro, yay. And not we had the tools to, with like Golden Egg and all this stuff. I just felt like we had the tools to flip to defensive if we needed to. That being said, maybe you take the better line. Maybe if you're control from the get-go and never get aggro like I did early, that you're in better shape. It's possible. I am not the best Magic player on the planet. I go with my instincts, and they serve me generally pretty well. And an Appetite likes to eat an egg, but I'm going to go ahead and eat food here. Let's get some life back. Interesting. We can go Tree Folk with Appetite up, or we can go Conrad. I think we need to do Conrad here. So let's send in Oathsworn first without any extra stuff and see what it takes out, if they do anything about it. They might just take it. Yeah, there's... Well, now we just win, right? Oh, wait, no. Oh, we ate that food. I shouldn't have eaten the food. We win if we don't. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then they can't attack, though, and they don't seem to have life gain, so let's do it. I mean, Black's never getting rid of Revenge of Ravens, so how are they going to beat us? Conrad comes down, and then they're damned if they do, damned if they don't. Oh, Egg helps. They didn't show much life gain, but that is actually a big deal. Like now, we don't lose, but it's a big deal. Oh, maybe we do lose. Do we just lose? Maybe we just lost there. Shoot. Sure weren't expecting the egg, though. Okay, we didn't just lose. Ha ha! Woo! I didn't know. Since they attacked, I figured we were probably dead. They do have another mana, though, so they might be able to do something to, like... Oh, okay. I was trying to figure out what they might have and what we would have to do about it. All right, we made it to game 3. Can we duck Torbrand this time? Maybe they just did that because they realized they couldn't win. I mean, they had no way to win at that point without trying that. So they might have done a no math, this is our out type of play. I'm going to cut one of these Insatiables, I think. And man, maybe we just do run this thing. It's just so hard to justify. We could bring in a Return to Nature. Do we see anything else? An egg, but that's it, right? Yeah. I don't think it's worth it for the one thing. Yeah, we only saw one target for it, Zebra, so I'm not into bringing in a Return to Nature for one target. It's a good one. Pumping their whole team is obviously very good. I just can't quite do it, although maybe it's better than the that second Appetite. We gotta watch out for casting Appetites into their open mana anyway. Yeah, I know they have the banner, but that's literally the only thing we saw that Return to Nature does anything about. Besides food, eggs, that's not worth it. I don't think we can take Order out. I know it's not a blocker, but I don't think we take Order out. It's too good. Yeah, I'm just going to put the Appetite back in and send it. No, we haven't seen a black splash from them yet. It's been largely mono red. I really don't want to get stuck with Return to Nature in hand while we're getting beaten down and they just didn't draw their banner. That's just so bad for us. This is nice. If we can trade off a Jousting Dummy, we can get it back with Barrow Witches. If we can find one more green mana, we have a 4 as well. And if not, hopefully we Revenge. And Revenge is very good against them, so we're happy about that. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Did they mulligan? I thought I heard the of a mulligan. I can't remember. Yeah, they mulligan, so that's hopefully good for us. Ah, Curious Pair, fantastic. Lucky, lucky us. Perfect play for a Curious Pair after a Sword Master. Yeah, maybe it's not a splash, but we sure haven't seen much black. Of course, they found their banner. We found a spider, though. That's not bad. Still looking for one more forest to unlock the Witch Stalker, but our hand is looking pretty solid here. What is it? What have we seen? Barge in, Rimrock. What is this? It doesn't really matter. I'm going to call their bluff. We're going to trade for a trick here. Black Lance is the old rare trick. Well, they trade, so that's nice too. They get rid of our creature, but it was a 1-for-1. And we found our forest. Very nice. I could just pop a Ravens down. But I think I'm going to start by offering the Curious Pair for the Black Lance, which they will decline. And then we'll just play the Witch Stalker. Paragon could be part of the black. I mean, it's obviously part of their black, which is also not a very splash-like choice. Wow, am I happy that they are out of red cards right now. Well, I'm sending the Witch Stalker. Happy. Well, if it died, we wouldn't be able to get it back with Barrow Witches, but I'm still happy to trade Witch Stalker for Torbrand. And Jousting Dummy Pump is one play we have. We can double block Torbrand that way, but I will just go Ravens. And we'll say no blocks here. We'll try to trade for Torbrand, attacking Torbrand in a minute. Actually, what will happen is we'll get a defense set up where they will decline to attack further with Torbrand. And that's a nice start there. We're going to send in our... I don't know what's going on here. We could be going into a trap, but we got a lovely follow-up play after this attack, so we're going to see what they want to do. Bring on your Torbrand now. Searing Barrage the Oathsworn now. Go for it. Okay, that's a little annoying. I'm going to acknowledge that. Do they have Fling is the question. We're going to play like they don't, but this could hurt. Don't. Okay. Whew. Whew. See ya, East. Happy New Year. Let's send it all. Can we? We can eat food, putting us to 12. If we send in, it's a forced block situation, so that's fine. Forced block. Torbrand is super scary, but what you gonna do? Virtual 12 here. Yeah, maybe we're just good. Like, it's lethal. Maybe it's just lethal. I always presume they have something that's going to stop us from winning, but we might just have it here. Yeah, we just have it. All right. Easy game. 5-0, no problem. They could have also had just the 3 damage instant spell to take out the hasty knight. Well, that's a fine way to send the year off, don't you think? Let me get out of your way while we claim the prize. Look at that beauty. Claim these rewards. Oh, hey, Pajamin. I saw people saying GG, and I was like, is Pajamin here? And then I didn't see you for a second. Good game. Yeah, that was quite a match. I was very worried about... What was your Black Splash for in general? Did you bring... Like, were you running all those knights that we saw in Game 3 in your main deck? Or did you, like, bring in the life gain knights? Or were you just... Yeah, you have 4 7 dwarves and Torben. Yeah, Torben, and you got Torben all 3 games. That was scary as heck. But it seems like you had a super, super light Black Splash Wotus for some early drops. So, yeah. But I guess, you know, you got to fill out your deck, right? Anyway, let's open some packs. This being our backup account, I don't even really care about the cards on it. That's the thing. I let the packs languish here because I rarely play constructed here. This is just where we come for some limited. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. You got to do it, right? Play what you got. Love your username, by the way. Pajamin, that's great. But we'll clear out the packs here, why not? Oh, can't open Theros. It's funny, this is the one account that I actually managed to do the preview thing to get the Theros packs. It happened during when I was not playing heavily, so anyway, yeah. Can't do it. Click on it harder. And then this is going to haunt this account for the rest of the season till the sets come out. All right, though, that was good. Go back to Soapbox. Thank you so much, YouTubers, for hanging out. That was a blast. Start ending the year on a 5-0 run. Awesome. And thank you all for hanging out with me, too. We're going to find someone to raid here, but see you, YouTube.